everybody, ClareBear89 here, answering some questions that a few of my online friends had. So we'll get right into it. The first one being, when did you realize you wanted to be involved in illustration? Well, I started out as graphic design in college, but 2 years in, I saw Yuko Shizumi's art in Rolling Stones magazine, and I fell in love. She is amazing. I love how she puts graphic and modern and ink and brush all together. So I decided to change right then and there. Question 2 is a little bit more of into gaming, is when did you first look at the video games for reference, inspiration, and what is the first one you tried? I saw someone playing Assassin's Creed 1 in my dorm room, and I fell in love with Altair's design. Honestly, I just watched her play for about a good 20 minutes, so I'm like, well, whenever I have money for Xbox, this is what I'll do. So when I was studying it, looking more into it online, I found that ACB was already out, and I saw some of the concept art and the environment. I loved it. It was beautiful. And then I looked into more other games, and I saw, of course, weapons. So, first one being was maybe Mass Effect 3. I saw its Omni-Tool weapons. The smallest amount of change can just make a big impact, and that's what I loved about it. Especially in, let's say, ACR. All the different weapons, it was amazing to see how the artists and concept artists tried every single idea and just was like, alright, which one works better? That's what I fell in love with games, and how you could create one. Question 3 would be, what game do you think looks best graphics-wise? Oh dear. For me, I look more at environments and how it looks instead of everything. First one would be, for me, Skyrim. I honestly love the depth and the detail you can put into it. Of course, there's mods to make it even more detailed, but the first time I played Skyrim, I was like, yeah, this is better than Oblivion. Look at this amazement, and look at this amazing idea of looking at the mountains. Solitude, for example. You look at it up, and you look up at the top from the bottom, and looking at the top towards the Blue Palace. Beautiful. I could just stare at it. And if you ever played Oblivion, you know they just have done so much better on the faces. The people in Oblivion were horrid. People in Skyrim, like Vex.
Hang on.
Alright, you look good. Alright, cool. The elves, of course, look a little weird, but I can work with that. Second one would be Dragon Age 2. And I'm not talking about the environment. I'm actually talking about the characters. I love armor design, weapon design. Very cool for me. So, like, for example, the air shock, when he's just staring at you, it's pretty cool to see the details in the skin, his armor, even in the chair he's sitting. The little details just make a big impact for me. For skin-wise, like, if you look at Fenris, you can see his pores. I know that sounds bad, but you can see his pores. You can see the detail in the skin. Which again, for me, makes a great difference in a game, is how they make people look. Next question is, what is your favorite things to draw? I like drawing a lot of things. Mainly, of course, is female figures. Since I'm a female, I can just look at myself for reference. But a big thing is also faces. I like incorporating the human face, especially when it's with a theme. So like this one would be my autumn theme. But you already take, of course, the face. People know what faces look like. We have a preconception. I try to change it a little, making it a little bit more abstract. So especially for character designs, that's what people do. You want to make it a little bit more exaggerated. Now, besides that, I also like doing messages. So one of my series is Depression series. I know what people struggle with that, and I want to try to convey what those people feel and what I have felt before as well. So that's mainly what I like to draw. Question 5 is, who is your favorite female character and why? My very first female character that I fell in love with, absolutely first in my heart, is Maria Throw. Can't say her name, last name right, but Maria. Love her, love her, love her. She is strong. I loved how she entered the game. It's like, what, Altair, you ain't gonna kill me? And you go, mm-mm. But not only that, in ACR, you also saw her being Altair's reason. She kept him calm. Though she's a strong woman, she's like, let's take a minute. Plus, in Bloodlines, she kicked Altair in the face. Who best got a good kick right off Altair? Awesome part of the game. My next favorite is Miranda Lawson. I know people are gonna hate her, but I love her. She's preconcepted as she has to be perfect. She's trying so hard to be perfect, to meet these expectations. But really, she just wants to be a normal person. That's why she took her sister. So she could decide what she wanted to do, so she could live as how she saw fit. Not only that, at the end of the game, if you solve in Synthesis and in Control, she tried her hardest to make sure she worked with people to make a better future. Love her for that. Question 6 is, what is your favorite game to play with other people? I'm guessing live people, so not just AIs. First one was ACB. That's the reason why I started online gaming, was Assassin's Creed Brotherhood multiplayer. Loved the characters. Each one had their own different personality, and especially they each had their own weapon. And though it was limited with the weapons, each one was fit for that character. And especially for my character that I love to play as, it was the lovely Smuggler. The only woman in the Brotherhood to actually get killed by Ezio. So, I was like, yeah, you deserve some respect. And it was just a lot of fun. Even though with the glitches, I still loved it. The next one is Gotham City Imposters. Or Imposters, if you would like. I have so much fun with this game. It's just totally random. You can annoy the shit out of people because you can camp and just use the Witch Doctor, and I hate when people do that, but I still love playing this game. Especially the maps. I mean, I love the Carnival map. It's just fun to hear the game speak for the rides. It's just fun to run around and see what they got. The next game, the most common one, is Assassin's Creed 3. I know there's glitches, I know there's bugs, it pisses me off, but I like the different types of characters. They're not all Templars, especially my lovely Hessian. He is amazing. I love my Hessian. He's a cold-blooded killer and a Templar, while the next person behind him is the Independent, and she's an assassin, and totally different characters. Plus the maps, I actually enjoyed the maps much more on AC3 than any other one, especially for Wilcott. That's my favorite map to play in Deathmatch. Got a perfect area. Question 7. What would your dream job be? So first and foremost, of course, would be my illustration. I would love to be an illustrator and or painter. Either or. Illustrator, painter, yeah. Yeah, I don't see why I wouldn't. It's a lot of fun for me. It's something I can create things out of nothing. And that's the big thing I like. I like creating something out of nothing. And to do that, I also want to show places, so like Spook Art in San Francisco, to the Lovely Gallery, High Fructose Magazine, and eyesonthewall.com. I love those places, just to name a few. I would love to show there. Next jobs I would like would be character designer, environment designer. So a lot of the things, like even in games, I like seeing something I can react to. So like for styles of stories is where I would like to work, is Ubisoft, Bioware, Bethesda, Gearbox. I like the stories they have. I like the feel of the game. It's much more intriguing to me. Question 8. If you had to choose any other career other than being an artist, what would it be? I actually had to think about this while I was in college. A lot of my family members, including my mother, really pressured me to being an art teacher. And I love my art teachers in school, but it wasn't for me. I love kids, but I can't deal with the parents. So if I had to choose what kind of art teacher, it'd be early childhood, middle school, or special education. Working with kids that art helps them go on. The other job I would like to be is a gallery curator. Getting artists and pieces into a gallery so all can see. So working with arts, particularly grunge art, pop art, or illustration, getting it so the masses can see would be a big thing for me. Question 9. If you could work on any game and/or franchise, what would it be? Well, let's see. The first one that I'm recently playing that I really like the story and the game style would be Borderlands. I love their graphic style. I really like their dialogue. It's a lot of fun. Number 2 would be Dragon Age. I like the world story. It's a lot of fun creating this world for the players. Dishonored would be another one. Again, I like the science versus magic style in their story. I'm sorry. And of course, Assassin's Creed. History and research that goes into that game, I would love to help out on that. It'd be a lot of fun. Question 10, final and last one, is who actually are your biggest influences and why? Oh man, I have a lot, but the top 3 I think would be, of course, Laura Zombie. She's amazing. If you see her stuff, it's awesome to look at. Her style is mainly like grunge and pop, I guess you could say, put together. And it's a lot of ink, a lot of watercolor, and how can I explain? If you see it, you'll see messages in the art. And it's not just like, yay, fun games. If you look a lot closer, you'll see messages. So, for example, she uses a lot of children, and they're holding violent things around, and they're in a violent kind of place, but it looks innocent, so you're seeing innocence and horrid war or peace trying to sell only with guns. That's very sad, but it's the world we live in, and she represents it very well. Another one would be Ania Olander. I'm sorry if I say your name wrong, but you are amazing. I love you. I've actually Facebooked her, and she's amazing. Her style is very free, because she uses ink, but it's also very structured. You'll see the figure or the object very clearly in bold and loose water of ink and watercolor. I just love how it looks. It's very childlike and whimsical, so it's not adultish. It's in a child form where it feels very innocent. And I think that's what I'm really drawn to her about her stuff. And then top 3rd would be Sylvia Hilasaro. I cannot say names right. But I love your stuff. I actually have some of it in my room. She uses bright colors with inks, watercolors. She even uses, I believe, charcoal, pastels, gel pens to create an image. And all of it's put together just awesome. She uses the female figure a lot, especially the face. It's looking right at you. You can see it staring at you. And it's very, very moving, I guess you could say. It's like you have to look back. It's very solid, but she blends it into the paper amazing, so it's almost coming out of nothing. And actually, I had one more influence. It's a Conrad Rosette. And his is actually very different than what I usually look at, but he still uses the female figure mainly, but it's very, very limited colors and extremely thin lines. So, using these thin lines, he uses bold colors to show more of the figure coming out, and it pops at you, which is awesome. So, that is my 10 questions that I answered, and now I'm leaving you off with an awesome little painting and drawing of Conrad. You all have a great one. Bye bye.